What's going on, guys? Hope you all had a great Wednesday here. It is May 29th, 2019, and we had a pretty decent trading day so far. So I want to break down a couple of things we were watching for today that actually ended up happening, some things that didn't happen, and then how we were able to take advantage of those either way. So I got my main 5-grid chart set up here for the S&P 500s, and what I want to do is go ahead and switch over to an hourly chart and maximize this sell so we can talk through what the morning strategy was, or what I thought was going to be the case here today, and then end up looking at what actually did happen. So coming into today, we were gapping down. I've been waiting for this 27.9250 level for quite some time now. I think back up in maybe beginning of last week, somewhere through in here, I was talking about this. Maybe even further back. I gotta go back and double check, but I was looking for this 27.9250s to trade, and we've been slowly working our way down there. Yesterday, you can see we had a really nice move yesterday, looking for resistance at 39.50s there. We traded 41 quarters and then just completely annihilated all the way down into the bell there. And a small gap down opening here this morning, an opening print of 88 quarters here in the S&P. So just slightly under that 27.9250 level. And what I was watching for today was two things. Number one is if we could pull back 27.8375s, then we could look at long opportunities here for the S&P 500. If we got above 9250s, then we could look for long opportunities there. So what ended up happening, what I do? Well, let's drill down to a 987 tick chart, and I'll show you. Market's actually kind of running here a little bit. You can see my open P&L, or a closed P&L here in the top right corner, $1,367.10 on the day for the S&P 500. And we're actually getting a nice little kind of push there once we broke through those 77s there. So anyways, what did I do? Well, we came down and we tested this 83.75 in the morning here. You can see where my cursor's at. So we pulled back, tested this 83.75, tried to get something going, couldn't. Pulled back again. We ended up setting this low in place here, 27.80s there on those lows. Rallied up, tried to get something going again through 83.75s, could not do it. Pulled back again, and at this moment in time, we got a little bit of a new low here. So this was at 950. And in taking a look at the 4-grid chart, which is one of the charts that I use, where I've got S&P's, NASDAQ, Russell, and Dow on there, and that's one of the trade grids that I use for my divergence indicator. But at that 950 time, this is you guys' homework here if you're watching this video, is to go look at the 5-minute chart and see that the NASDAQ didn't actually break through to new lows on that 950 bar, where the S&Ps, the Russell, and the Dow all in fact did. And at that moment in time, I was like, okay, we don't have a signal in place, but we do have a price divergence. Let's see if this market can rally back up through 83.75s, and if we can do that, then we can get our nice move up into 92.50s and take some profits, and then look to see what else the market wants to give us from that point forward. And inside of this little kind of area right in here, you can see, I'll kind of zoom in a bit, you can see we popped up, we traded 84s right here, we tried popping up again, we traded 84.50s, pulled back, put in new lows, and then finally broke out from 83.75s and worked our way on up to 92.50s. So what I did is, after this pullback here that ended up setting that divergence, right, that's that 950 bar on a 5-minute chart that you're going to go look at and see that the NASDAQ didn't actually make new lows there, I went ahead and started accumulating a small position here over these 81s right here. You can see this little pivot we've got in place over 81s. And then I also added again a little bit later on the break, or right before the break of 83.75s. And that gave me an average price on this trade. I had 4 contracts long, gave me an average price of 82.50s. And then what I did is I managed that position out. I went ahead and took 2 off here at 88 and 88 quarter. So I took 1 off at 88, 1 off at 88 quarter. And then I took the rest of it off here, took 1 more off at 92 quarter, and 1 more off at 92.50, and you can see the high of the day ended up being 92.75. So we got out 1 tick from the high of the day with a predetermined level that we talked about in the morning session there, that I also talked about on the morning trade plan live on YouTube as well. So if you guys are watching YouTube right now, then make sure you go ahead and click that subscribe button and the little bell notification so you know when I go live each and every morning at 9 o'clock and what it is that I'm looking for in these markets. Because having that 92.50 level on the day, or having the 39.50 level from yesterday, or any of the other levels that I give out, or questions you may have, is definitely helpful. So you want to make sure you go ahead and do that. Anyways, from that point forward, 92.50s, I've done nothing else on the day besides sit and watch what this market is doing. And again, my patience right now is being tested because I want a swing trade to the long side here, but I'm only going to do so if we can break back above 92.50s, which we just have not been able to do since this morning. So ended up taking a nice little trade there in the S&Ps. Good for $1,367.10 there. And then that's interesting, the snaps like that. And then took a position here in the NASDAQ. Had a similar situation in the NASDAQ where I was trying to catch a position here off of the 25.75 level in the NASDAQ, 72.25.75s, which you can see we're just a little bit above that now. But I was trying to catch a position right in through here on the NASDAQ. Let me zoom in. Right in through here, I was trying to catch positions off of 25.75s that I could just go ahead and put trail stops in place on and hold that for a move up into 72.46s. Unfortunately, I was unable to really get that position to hold its trail stops, and then you can see that position ended up trailing out for $36.40 there on the NASDAQ. So no complaints. It ended up green, but it would have been a nice little addition to the S&Ps had I been able to actually hold that position up into 72.46s there. We're getting a nice little pump here kind of towards the end of the day. It's 3:40 Eastern here. So we'll see where these markets end up at the end of the day. That's going to actually dictate a lot going forward here for the next week or so, I believe. Now, one more trade that I did have on the board today was in the Russell here. So RTY, you can see up $91.40 on there. And if we switch this chart over to the Russell, you can see the Russell here currently trading 1493.40s. I had some levels in down here at 1494s in the Russell, and we rallied up into that point as resistance. And again, I was trying to get something here in the Russell that would actually break through and get going and hold trail stops here. I thought, if we're going to break out, then we've got the potential for the Russell to kind of work its way into gap fill and potentially even close green. So I took a couple little positions in the Russell there, tried to catch the breakout here, and just wasn't really able to get it going. So that ended up trailing there for $91.40. So the S&Ps was the one that, I left it kind of alone. It didn't need as much room, and it didn't have kind of the whippy back and forth action that the Russell and the NASDAQ ended up having. And that one was able to kind of hold its own and work its way up into targets. So grand total on the day, just trading the 4 indices here, ended up being good for $1,494.90. I believe I was closed out, I want to say last fill here ended up being, right about 10:30 there, somewhere in the 10:30 time frame, when we traded up into 27.92.50s for the S&Ps. And then once that happened, was done for the day. Went and got a haircut, did all that fun stuff, and going to be off to LA tomorrow. So if you guys are new around here, again, I talked about it a little bit ago, go ahead and click that subscribe button. If you enjoyed this content, please feel free to give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, then leave those in the comment section below, or you can reach out to me. You can find me at majorleaguetrading.com, send me an email, support@majorleaguetrading.com. And then again, all of the social stuff, Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff is also down in the description below. As well, if you want more information about how it is that I trade this level-to-level strategy in divergence, which I created an indicator for as well, then all of those links are going to be in the description below. And if you want to join me in the MLT Discord, I'd be happy to have you in there. That's where you get to see me trade live each and every morning for about an hour to hour and a half. Again, thank you guys so much for your time. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Have a good rest of your trading week.